This is part 2 of The Little Spider. It's day 25 of 25 Days of Christmas Stories. Again, the family began to travel into the cold of a clear winter night. Only Dog followed Donkey now. Little Spider, too, remained with Donkey. Again they traveled long, difficult miles on the path among the steep hills, until again there came a point when they had to stop. Man found a cave and brought all of them inside. Donkey and Dog and Little Spider listened as Man explained to Woman. They would sleep the remaining few hours until the sun rose. They would continue then, fleeing Bethlehem for Egypt, where they would be safe from Herod, but only if they survived the night. As Man and Woman and the child slept, the soldiers marched closer and closer. "I'm getting cold," Dog whispered to Donkey. "I want to walk and run to keep warm. I will go look for the soldiers. I have strong bones and teeth. When I find them, I can protect the child." "Yes," Donkey said. "Otherwise, what will we do? Man and woman and child are too tired. The soldiers will catch up to them if they continue. The soldiers will catch up to them if we wait here. And the soldiers will not let the child live." "I will go meet the soldiers," Dog said. "I will fight them before they reach the cave." So Dog ran out of the cave. He followed the path back towards Bethlehem, and within a few miles, Dog saw Herod's soldiers. As Dog neared the soldiers, the silver light of the moon clearly showed there were many, all armed with swords and spears, all well protected by shields. Dog stopped and hid in the shadows beneath a bush. Dog spoke quietly, as if Donkey might be able to hear and understand. "I love the child. You know that. But I have to admit I am only a dog, and there are many soldiers. Who was I to think I could protect the child from Herod? Perhaps it would be best if I remained here until they passed by." So Dog hid quietly and did not return to protect the child. And the soldiers moved closer and closer to the cave ahead, where the child slept with Donkey and Little Spider nearby. Even if Little Spider had no keen ears or quick paws and sharp claws, or strong bones and big teeth to help protect the child, Little Spider wanted to stay with the child. In the cave, Man and Woman and the child slept, as did Donkey, who once again dreamed of carrots and shade on a hot day and buckets of clean cold water. Little Spider was awake. Little Spider watched the child from Donkey's back. Little Spider was drawn to the child, as surely as if God's love had been shining like a warm and wonderful light out of the darkness. Little Spider felt great joy to be in the presence of the child. But Little Spider was also sad. The child shivered as he slept in the cold of the cave. Little Spider wished badly he could keep the child warm. "I am only a little spider," Little Spider whispered, "and I do not have much to give, but I will do and give what I can." Little Spider began to spin a web across the entrance of the cave, hoping to make a curtain to keep out the cold. What Little Spider didn't know was that outside the cave, Herod's soldiers marched closer and closer along the path beneath the silver light of the moon, closer and closer to the cave that held Man and Woman and the child. It was so cold outside the cave that frost began to collect on the ground. As Little Spider spun his web, so too did frost begin to cover the strands across the entrance of the cave. Soon Little Spider's web glittered silver and bright in the light of the moon on that cold wintry night in the hills outside of Bethlehem. Herod's soldiers stopped in front of the cave and Little Spider's frost-covered web. Their footsteps no longer echoed in the coldness of the night. Little Spider could hear their breathing, loud and harsh. Pressed against the back wall inside the darkness of the cave, Man and Woman trembled. The child slept in the woman's arms. Little Spider knew the soldiers had arrived to kill the child and that Man and Woman loved so dearly. The child that angels had sung for on the night of his birth. The child that angels had promised would bring peace to all the world. Woman held the child. Man put his arms around Woman. They closed their eyes in fear and waited for Herod's soldiers to burst into the cave. "Shall we search inside?" Little Spider heard a soldier ask. Woman bit her lip to keep from crying out in fear. Man drew even closer to woman to protect her and the child with his body. Little Spider peeked outside. The moonlight clearly showed the little spider's web, covered with silver frost, stretched across the entrance of the cave. "Let's not waste our time," the captain of Herod's soldiers finally answered. "There's no one inside. Anyone entering would have torn that spider's web." The soldiers passed on, leaving man, woman, and the child in peace, and the child slept on. The story of the little spider is a retelling of an ancient legend. It is why this lovely legend tells us that we put tinsel on our Christmas trees. The glittering streamers are a symbol of the little spider's web, beautiful with its frost, stretched across the entrance of the cave. Even though the story is based on legend, it truly reminds us that no gift given to Jesus, no matter how small, is ever forgotten.